Jeffrey Epstein's death by suicide in prison sent shockwaves around the world.
Breaking news out of New York reports that American financier Jeffrey Epstein has died by suicide.
Questions growing this morning surrounding the death of accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein.
But now that we've all digested that, the focus has shifted to a new question. What will happen to Epstein's estate? The convicted pedophile was facing up to 45 years in prison on charges, which he denied, of sexually exploiting dozens of teenagers at his private homes between 2002 and 2005. But before a verdict could be determined, Epstein killed himself. His death on August 8 came as a massive shock, namely over how America's most high-profile inmate managed to take his own life while under constant surveillance in maximum security just weeks after an earlier reported suicide attempt. His death is a blow to the victims, as investigators wanted Epstein to tell them who else might have been involved in his child sex ring. An autopsy on the disgraced financier concluded that he did indeed commit suicide in his jail cell, having apparently done so while the two guards tasked with keeping watch of him were asleep on the job. So, Epstein's now dead and gone, so what happens to his finances? New court documents show Epstein signed a will 2 days before his suicide on August 8, revealing he had more money than he'd previously stated. The former hedge fund manager put all of his holdings in a trust called the 1953 Trust in court papers after the year he was born. The will did not identify any beneficiaries, but it did list his only potential heir as his younger brother Mark Epstein. Federal prosecutors say they intend to confiscate the billionaire's properties that were linked to the sexual abuse of underage girls, on the basis that they were used to facilitate crimes. Under US forfeiture laws, hard assets like homes can be sold and the proceeds put into a special fund inside the Department of Justice, with a judge to determine what ultimately happens to the proceeds. But the real focus now is on Epstein's victims. In the wake of his death, at least 5 civil suits have been brought against Epstein from women who claim they were abused by him and are coming forward seeking compensation for their pain.
Just to hear that they're standing up for the victims, you know what I mean? It's just like so overwhelmingly it's past due.
Even though the criminal case against Epstein ended in suicide, his accusers can still pursue civil claims against his estate for damages. Lawyers for several of the accusing women say they intend on filing civil claims. But this is not going to be easy.
I assert my federal constitutional rights as guaranteed by the 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendments.
Legal experts say his use of a private trust was likely meant to keep Epstein's financial dealings private and make it harder for accusers to lay claims to his assets. This doesn't mean they won't get a cent, but it means their legal battles will probably be long and intense. There are still many questions surrounding Epstein's case, and now that he's dead, we'll probably never know for sure. How many girls he abused, who he may have been associated with, and what exactly happened the night he died. But for now, the immediate task ahead will be working to bring justice to his victims.